Namaskar friends. After the much and the long awaited entry of Saturn in the Pisces sign, which happened on March 29th, now from April 28th till October 2nd, Saturn is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now guys, as you know that the innate spark, motivation generally comes from the nakshatra where planet is going to be transiting. The beauty of the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra is that it is seen as the old, wise, mature soul of the zodiac belt. Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra is ruled by the planet Saturn in itself. It is not going to be an exaggeration to say this thing, that it is that state of the pure awakening or realization before the liberation, before the enlightenment. So guys, all of that which you are craving for when it comes down to your spiritual potential, this entry of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada holds the key to grant you that. All the three nakshatras ruled by the planet Saturn falls in the original water signs. For example, Cancer represents the moksha of your body, Scorpio represents the moksha of your mind, and Pisces represents the moksha of your soul. Guys, if you have to understand the three nakshatras ruled by the same planet and how the journey distinguish. So for example, if you will compare the three nakshatras of the Rahu with the three nakshatras of the Saturn. So Rahu, which works majorly on the mental plane. When we talk about Adra, it represents the mental chaos. Swati gives you mental savviness, and Sadbisha is generally attached with the mental genius. Same is the way when we talk about the three nakshatras ruled by the planet Saturn. So Pushya, where the nourishment comes to you from your like mother or the known and people close to you. From the Anuradha, the nourishment comes to you from your friends. And when we talk about the Uttara Bhadrapada, so nature in itself takes care of you. So friends, Uttara Bhadrapada is generally addressed as the later lucky feet, which also tells about that when Saturn is going to be transiting in the Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Whatsoever wisdom you have acquired, now Saturn can give you the rewards for all of that. All the tests and trials which you have already passed when Saturn was in the Purva Bhadrapada, now is going to be the payback time for that. Along with that guys, the region of the Uttara Bhadrapada within the Pisces is from 3 degree 20 minutes till 16 degree 40 minutes, completely within the Pisces sign. Along with that guys, during this day of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada, Saturn is going to be retrograde from July 13th till November 28th as well. So Saturn is not going to be crossing beyond the second pada of the Uttara Bhadrapada in the year 2025. Now few of the things which you have to know about the Uttara Bhadrapada. So it is being ruled by the planet Saturn. Even the god or the devata which preside over it is called as the Ahir Budhyana, which in some of the text has been explained as one of the 11 Rudra. Some of the spiritual text has addressed as the serpent which is found on the deep in the ocean. Some Vedic scholars addressed Ahir Budhyana as the son of the celestial architect Vishwakarma as well, which in a way holds this key to shape up your karma as well. And generally it has been seen that this is a region or a terrain where the karma gets released in a very unexpected kind of way. So whatsoever Saturn would have made you go through, or all the life's tests and trials which you have encountered, the final payback or the result of that generally happens in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Now guys, the nature of this nakshatra is that it is sattvic in nature. It has got human, Manushya Gana. It is connected with the ether element, like its caste. Some of the text explain it as the warrior caste, and some of the text address it as the Brahmin caste, the priestly class. Along with that guys, like in Hinduism, cow is like worshipped as the mother. So even the animal which is connected with this nakshatra is the cow, so which can be seen as very good remedy if you are going through any of the Saturn affliction in your chart. So apart from like feeding dogs, which many astrologer advise as a remedy, or feeding the crows during this time, you can also feed the cows as a Saturn remedy as well. Guys, the good part about this nakshatra is that it is a dhruva or a fixed nakshatra. So that means whatever you will build during this time, there is a high potential and possibility that you will be able to retain that with you as well. Now guys, certain qualities and traits of the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra. So like people who are like strongly being ruled by the Uttara Bhadrapada, like if this is what your like moon nakshatra is, your ascendant is in the Uttara Bhadrapada, your ascendant lord is placed in the Uttara Bhadrapada. So the personality traits are like these people are very deep thinkers, wise, spiritual, emotionally very mature, very robust. Now in certain cases that emotional maturity comes after facing through a lot of the practical life experiences and all. Like you will generally find these people to be in like when it comes down to their career choices, success in the spiritual institution, underwater exploration or secretive profession. Along with that, I have also seen many people in the teaching field or working as an astrologer, meditation teacher, or like in the fields of the research. Now when we talk about the relationship and the compatibility, so these people are very loyal and emotionally very intense. Like this is not an exaggeration to say this thing, that if you have a friend or your spouse is Uttara Bhadrapada, so this is going to be a person which will actually provide you that emotional shield whenever life will become hard or you have to deal with the tough times in the life. So in terms of the relationship, they are very loyal, emotionally very intense, and generally it has been seen that they may have to experience the delayed or some sort of karmic relationship which is purely as per the nature of the Saturn, like late marriage or having progeny little bit later on in the life could be some of the traits of this nakshatra as well. Now guys, when we talk about the shadow side or the challenges, so it may suppress emotions or leading to isolation or inner sadness. But the good part about the Uttara Bhadrapada or people who are being governed by the Uttara Bhadrapada, they don't make a spectacle out of it. You will not find these people to be beating their chest and talking about the betrayal they have gone through or the kind of sadness or isolation they have in their life. They know how to even use that isolation in a very constructive kind of way. Along with that guys, when we talk about the spiritual purpose, so deep connection to the Kundalini energy, like serpent symbolism, and moksha, like attainment and like progressing towards the path of the self-realization. Like the way guys, if you have read that book Autobiography of a Yogi, so all of that kind of spiritual marvels you will come across in that book. All those kind of spiritual ascetic powers which those spiritually enlightened people have demonstrated, have mentioned in that book, could be attached with the potential and the power of the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra only. Again guys, Jupiter has got everything to do with the religion, but the divinity is also connected with Jupiter, and Saturn is the chief significator of the spirituality. And within the Pisces, it is a domain where like a zodiac sign which is being ruled by the Jupiter, and within it, it is the Saturn's energy. And guys, when we talk about the mythological insight, so the presiding deity Ahir Budhyana is a Vedic serpent god residing in the cosmic ocean, a protector of the subconscious realms, representing deep wisdom, hidden forces, and intuitive insight. Now guys, if you want to understand the impact of this transit of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra based on your moon nakshatra, like because we know that Saturn is a very karmic kind of planet, so those kind of fruits and results which generally comes in the time period of the Saturn, they tend to remain of very karmic in nature. So if right now Saturn is active in your dasha and all, so it becomes very important for you to know that this movement of the planet Saturn in the cosmos, in the transit, how it is going to be impacting you based on your moon nakshatra, your janam tara. So guys, if your moon nakshatra is ruled by the planet Sun, like you are born with your moon being in the Kritika nakshatra, in the Uttara Falguni nakshatra, in the Uttara Ashadha nakshatra, so that means Saturn is going to be transiting in the attainment in the sadhan tara, so which is generally considered as good. So in whichever capacity you are operating in the life, this is going to be the time when, especially wheresoever Saturn is transiting in your natal chart based on your ascendant, some sort of attainment is possible during this time. Now let's say for example, if your moon nakshatra is of moon in itself, like for example you are born when moon was transiting in the like Rohini nakshatra, Hasta nakshatra or the Shravan nakshatra. So now that means for you people, Saturn is transiting in the Paryatak tara, which in itself represents obstacle. So guys, based on your ascendant and the moon sign, Saturn might create some sort of karmic problems and all, or this could be a case that with Saturn it has everything to do with the payback, with the give and take. So in whichever capacity you are operating, wheresoever Saturn is transiting right now in your natal chart, charity, donation, self-realization, meditation, acceptance will become very important for you. Now if your moon nakshatra is ruled by the planet Mars, like for example at the time of your birth your moon was transiting in the Mrigashira nakshatra, in the Chitra nakshatra or in the Dhanishta nakshatra, so that means now Saturn is going to be transiting in the Shema tara, which means happiness. So again guys, during this time, purification, cleansing, highest form of knowledge, right guidance will come to you, and it is going to be a time of the fulfillment and happiness. Now if at the time of your birth moon was transiting in the Rahu's nakshatra, which could be that your moon nakshatra is Adra, it's Swati, it's Sadbhisha, so guys that in itself means that like Saturn is going to be transiting in the Vipat tara for you. So that means you have to be very cautious, very careful regarding your choices during this time, because guys, Saturn in the Pisces, within the Pisces in the Uttara Bhadrapada has got everything to do with fixing up your karma, your activities, and whatsoever is coming in the way, how to take it away from you or purify that or cleanse that. So you have to be very careful. Now if you are born with your moon being in any of the Jupiter nakshatra, which is like Punarvasu, Vishakha, Purvabhadrapada, so that means Saturn is going to be transiting in the Sampat tara. So guys, during this time, wealth in the form of this could be knowledge, wisdom, blessing, grace will come to you. Now if you are born with your moon being in any of the Saturn nakshatra, like this is what your birth nakshatra is, so that means if you are born with moon being in the Pusha, in the Anuradha or in the Uttara Bhadrapada nakshatra, so based on the running time period and the house where Saturn is going to be transiting, it will give you the result. Now guys, if you are born with your moon being in any of the Mercury nakshatra, which is like Ashlesha, Jeshtha or Revati, so that means Saturn is going to be transiting in the Param Mitra tara. So that means people around you will actually act as a good friend, and the right mentor, advisors will come in your life, and whatsoever you're trying to achieve or whatever you're trying to get rid of, any of the concerns of the foreign settlement and all, so life will support you. Now guys, if you're born with your moon being in any of the Ketu's nakshatra, so that means your moon nakshatra is of Ashwini, Magha, Mula, that means Saturn is going to be transiting in the Mitra tara. So that means whatsoever you're trying to achieve right now, authority figures, all the like guiding figures like guru, mentors, advisors will play a very pivotal role in connecting you with your like self-realization, purification, cleansing. Now guys, if you are born with your moon being in any of the Venus nakshatra, which is Bharni, Purva Falguni or Purva Shada, so that means Saturn is going to be transiting in the Nidhana tara for you, which means Nidhana, which is connected with the poverty. So again guys, right now this is not the time for you to only crave for the material accomplishment, material attainment. Wheresoever Saturn is going to be transiting in your natal chart, try to crave for or strive for the spiritual wisdom, because this transit of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada holds the key to grant you that. So now friends, we will briefly look at that how this entry of Saturn in its own nakshatra is going to be impacting all the rising signs. So starting first with the Aries rising natives. So guys, in your case, Saturn has got a rulership over your 10th and the 11th house, and now it is going to be transiting in its own nakshatra in your 12th house. So that means you will experience the 12th house related results in a purest of the form. Nothing would be better than that if you're also currently going through the Saturn Dasha as well. So guys, simply put, the effect will be felt in a way that spiritual renunciation. So for any of the highest of the spiritual attainment or any of the spiritual work, this is going to be the time of the blessing. Any concerns of the foreign settlement, overseas travel, this entry of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada will prove out to be very favorable for you. Karma cleansing, success through service abroad or meditative work as well. Now whether you are working professionally as an astrologer, as a Reiki healer, as a tarot card reader, as a coach, or even if you aspire for all these kind of knowledge and the wisdom, Saturn's entry in the Uttara Bhadrapada will prove out to be very favorable for you. Now guys, the general advice which can be given to the Aries Lagna is that practice meditation and let go of material attachment. Now guys, when we talk about the Taurus Lagna natives, so guys, for the Taurus Lagna natives, Saturn has got a rulership over your 9th and the 10th, and now it is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada in your 11th house. So guys, the general effect will come in a way that slow but steady rise in the income for any of the some lifetime investments and all. If your running dasha is supporting that, this could be considered. Along with that, gains through disciplined knowledge, elder mentors will prove out to be very helpful during this time, and joining any of the spiritual group can be considered. The general advice for the Taurus Lagna native is that pursue dharma driven goals for long term wealth. Do not eye for something like short term gratification or immediate gain. Look for the long term association. Now for the Gemini Lagna natives, Saturn has got a rulership over your 8th and the 9th, and now it is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 10th house. So guys, the general effect will come in a way that deep transformational career path. So some sort of deep experiences in the career front. Slow but powerful public recognition, especially if you are in the research field, pharmaceutical industry, medical, health industry, or you're working or operating in any of the occult related field. This could be a very prominent time for you. The general advice, guys, stick to integrity. Fame may come late, but when it will come in a very strong way. Saturn is going to be here for like 2.5 years, so whatever promise it has to deliver, you have to be patient for that. Now for the Cancer Lagna natives, guys, Saturn has got a rulership over your 7th and the 8th, and now it is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 9th house. So guys, the general effect will come in a way that karma with father. So like there is going to be some deeper wisdom and soul level learning which will happen with your encounter and through the relationship which you have with your father. Gurus, or like when we talk about even the foreign travels, will prove out to be filled with a lot of wisdom and deeper understanding. Long spiritual journeys or isolation from the orthodox faith can also be attached with this like entry of Saturn in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Like the way, guys, I mentioned this thing that it is going to be whatever you will gain during this time, it is going to be serving you for a long span of time. And Saturn, with its stay in the in your 9th house, will operate in a purest of the intention, purest of the form. But guys, do not get mistaken. Saturn is not like Jupiter, where the life lesson will come to you through ease and through grace. With Saturn, there is always a test and trial, test of our integrity, of our intention, of our hardship, and then result starts coming in. Because the general theme of Saturn in Uttara Bhadrapada is about wisdom, detachment, inner awakening, and spiritual service, and all of that will happen. All of that churning is gonna happen in your 9th house. Now guys, when we talk about the general advice, so detach from old beliefs, seek your own truth. Now when we talk about the Leo rising natives, so guys, in your case, Saturn has got a rulership over your 6th and the 7th house, and now it is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada in your 8th house. So guys, the general effect will come in a way that there are going to be testing times in the marriage, joint asset, and emotional trauma. So yes guys, Leo Lagna natives have to be very careful because Saturn will operate in a purest of the form, and just because it carries the answers or keys to your 6th and the 7th house results, so that means all of that will happen from the 8th house related matters. So we say this thing that emotional cleansing, purification, deeper psychological transformation will happen during this time. So, and there could be some possible gains through inheritance or esoteric sciences as well, if you're like operating as an astrologer, as a Vastu consultant. So for those people, general advice for the Leo Lagna native is that embrace inner healing and transformation. Now when we talk about the Virgo Lagna natives, so guys, in your case Saturn has got a rulership over your 5th house and the 6th house, and now it is already transiting in your 7th house, and now it will enter in its own nakshatra. So Saturn will manifest results in a purest of the form from your 7th house. So that means in certain cases that this could be a delayed marriage, or you might be attracted more towards the spiritual or more mature people. Partnership rooted in practicality, and there will be some karmic balancing which will happen in the matters of your 7th house. So like let's say for example, the way you conduct yourself in the public and your general relationship with the masses, so the way you have seen and dealt with people, like for example, if you have always been very snobbish, you have always been very domineering, you always have been very judgmental, so life might put you in the similar kind of crowd only. So this is how like the karmic balance will happen. But let's say for example, if you are a giver, like you are a kind of person who unconditionally is willing and ready to help everyone, so during this time you might not even expect, and there are like those situations where people will be more than happy and willing, even the strangers will be more than happy to help you, and help will come to you in the most sensitive times and all. So you can look at it in that way. Now when we talk about the general advice guys, so work on diplomacy, partner may be spiritual or older during this time, like the people you will get attracted towards. Now when we talk about the Libra Lagna natives, so guys, in your case Saturn has got a rulership over your 4th house and the 5th house, and now it is going to be transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 6th house. So Saturn will give results in the purest of the form because of being in its own terrain, in its own territory. So guys, the general effect will come in a way that karma through service, health, or this could be pets as well, internal pressure to manage home and work life. So manage how you manage your home and your work life and commitments and all. And again guys, like the way I mentioned this thing, karma through service. So that means no matter in whichsoever capacity, if life gives you a chance to walk extra mile to help the needy people, or like in whichsoever way you could be of help to the people around you, do that. Like Saturn is like a cosmic accountant which is keeping a track of everything, and at the right time result will come to you. So yes guys, and when we talk about the general advice, so serve with humility and avoid stress from emotional burden. That becomes very important right now for you because Saturn has got a rulership over the 4th house as well guys. So again guys, do not be in this mindset that if you're not able to handle any of the surge of energies and you're looking for that emotional refuge. So we know this thing that it's not like Jupiter which will give you things with ease and grace. Saturn has got its own way of teaching us the hard and the true lessons of the life, the reality. Saturn makes us go through and experience the reality. So I guess that is what Saturn will be operating for your rising sign. Now guys, when we talk about the Scorpions, so guys, in your case Saturn has got a rulership over your 3rd and the 4th house, and now it is going to be like transiting in the Uttara Bhadrapada in its own nakshatra in your 5th house. So now Saturn will manifest results in a purest of the form, and that will come from the 5th house. So guys, the general effect could be attached as creative intelligence with lot of the depth you will see right now in your work, the way your mind will function. There might be certain delays for certain people, in the matters of the childbirth and all, or there might be some emotional withdrawal from the pleasure as well. Now guys, when we talk about the 5th house, this is the house of the mantra sadhana, this is the house of the East upasana, all sort of yoga, meditation, interest in yoga generally comes from like people who have got prominent 5th house, 8th house and the 12th house. So that means for going deep in the spiritual, philosophical study and all, this could be a very beneficial time. Like learning, practicing anything which has to do with the soul level realization, perfection might be the right approach. General advice guys for you people is that practice patience, spiritual education will flourish during this time. Nothing could be better than that. If you're already going through any of the astrology course, like certain institutions like in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Vikaas and all, so it's going to be very blessed time for you. Again guys, do not be in a rush to just start making prediction, giving prediction and all. So just hone your skills. That's what becomes very important right now. Now guys, when we talk about the Sagittarius Lagna natives, so guys, in your case Saturn has got a rulership over your 2nd and the 3rd house, and now it is transiting in its own Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra in your 4th house. So guys, Saturn now will give results in a purest of the form, which will come and will be experienced in the 4th house. That means there might be for certain people distance from the mother or the homeland, which will act as a blessing in disguise if you're already operating and trying to get any of the visa in a foreign land and all. Inner calmness will come through solitude or spiritual rituals at home. Like many people who are in a habit of doing havan at home, or certain people have this habit of organizing any of the spiritual ritual in their home and all, so that can be considered during this time. General advice for the Sagittarius Lagna natives: emotional security will come from inner silence, not from the people. Now guys, when we talk about the Capricorn Lagna natives, so in your case guys, Saturn is your ascendant lord. So Saturn being the 1st and the 2nd lord being placed in the 3rd house in its own nakshatra now. So that means the result will come in a purest of the form from the 3rd house. So the general effect could be a powerful communicator but silent and strategic. Like this has to be your approach right now. Like do not be in a rush to blurt out anything. The very first thing which comes to you, very first piece of information comes to you, and you're just ready to spread the gossip and all. So do proper contemplation on that. That's what becomes very important. And again guys, like even if you are like working as a creator, influencer, the more deep philosophical work you will do during this time, and be in this mindset that how your work is going to be benefiting your audience, your clients, your customers. How can you be of service to others? If you will be operating with this mindset, Saturn can actually help you collaborate or land at some very concrete substantial deals, collaboration during this time as well. So powerful communicator but silent and strategic. Karmic relation with siblings, some sort of balancing over there, like cause and effect, whatever way either you have been dealt with or the way you have been with the siblings and all, the similar taste will be experienced now because of their treatment and their attitude towards you. Along with that guys, success in the solitary skills and all. So anything which requires like mourn, peace, meditation, self-reflection, so there will be success over there. And the general advice guys is like be a master in the communication arts, and your voice is going to be very karmic during this time. So again guys, like the way when we talk about Saturn's transit from the 2nd house and the 3rd house, we say this thing that whatever efforts you do, whatever you speak, be very mindful of that. You give a curse to someone, that will happen. You use some cuss words in order to let down people or just vent out your aggression and frustration at someone, so that will happen. So we generally say that when Saturn is transiting from the 3rd house and the 2nd house, you have to be very mindful of the words which you are using for other people. Now guys, for the Aquarians, Saturn has got a rulership over your 1st house and the 12th house, and now it is going to be transiting in its own nakshatra in your 2nd house. So guys, the general effect effect will come in a way that financial karma. So in the matters of the finances, if I were to be very honest guys, let's say for example, if there have been some major concerns of the debt or blockage and the obstacle which you have been dealing with, you are facing, like this could be a case that Rahu was there in your like second house for a long span of time. It is there, it is gonna be moving in the month of the May in itself. So that means there is going to be the release over there, like whatever things which have been blocked. So suddenly all the locks might be unlocked during this time when like Saturn is going to be acting out, like giving you the karmic rewards, I mean to say. So financial karma, need for emotional control in your speech. So you have to be very mindful. Again guys, especially if you have that habit of using the curse word or abuses and curses, be mindful that whatever you are saying, you might be saying that in a surge of the emotion, but that might happen, that might come out to be true. So be very mindful of the speech and all. And we say that like Saturn in the second house in the Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra, it definitely makes someone very wise, but at the same time can be very rough taskmaster as well, very strict taskmaster as well. The general advice guys, speak with compassion and avoid coldness in the family ties. And lastly guys, when we talk about the Pisces, so guys, for you people, Saturn has got a rulership over your 12th and the 11th house, and now it is placed in your first house and it's going to be transiting in its own nakshatra over there. So guys, the effect will come in a way that it can actually make your personality very, very sober, very filled with integrity, wisdom, maturity. You're not going to be responding or like you're not going to be very reactive during this time. You will just contemplate, and then after landing at the right conclusion, you will give your response. Along with that, this is going to be a very good time for the spiritual seekers. Along with that, there is a possibility of being very detached from the ego, serious about your life goals. Health can also be slightly sensitive in the matters of the health. And along with that guys, the general advice, if I were to give it to you, so build yourself through patience and with spiritual integrity. So yes guys, that is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For furthermore updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.